In 2019, we bought a completely abandoned estate once owned by King Henry VII. It had everything: a manor house, a servant's cottage, a caretaker's cottage, a gardener's cottage, a coach house and stables, and more outbuildings than we could count. It was beautiful in what have we done kind of way. We fell madly in love with this crumbling pile of bricks and decided to invest everything we had into bringing it back to life. Over the next 6 years, we learned how to plaster, tile, restore, and occasionally cry into a bucket of lime mortar. We couldn't afford builders, so we became them. We renovated the caretaker's cottage to rent out, moved into the servants' quarters, and somehow ended up filming a TV show with HGTV about restoring the coach house and stables. That little show went out to over 60 countries. Wild. And with that success came our biggest project yet, our family. Through surrogacy, we welcomed our beautiful child, and life became an even bigger, messier adventure. Running an architectural practice, managing holiday lets, filming YouTube, doing social media, and restoring this beast of an estate that eats money for breakfast. We've always promised to keep it honest with you, the highs, the chaos, and everything in between, because your support truly keeps this dream alive. So grab a cuppa and let's have an honest chat. This is so surreal. Sitting in my living room, looking at camera.
It has been a tough last few years, and it is time to be honest with you and talk money.
Money's so taboo, isn't it? And it's all subjective. So, but it just gives you a little bit of context of what's been going on over the past year and what's going to go on next year as well, and how it's going to change what we share on here. So that's why we're sharing this. It's
Yes.
more to do with that. We're going to try and keep it light-hearted. There's a huge dream out there to buy these big old houses, in particular in France.
Yeah.
But there's a lot behind the scenes that people don't share.
Which there are a lot of struggles. So I think,
Yeah.
let's take you back. Back in 2019, we bought the beautiful estate, right? It was absolutely derelict. Dean and I just saw a beautiful property and we fell in love with it. We put all our money into that, knowing that we would have a very small budget to do one of the cottages. Now, our initial plan was always to end up living in the main house, and the cottages will be rented out long term to give us some money to carry on, because we never put ourselves as a priority. We always think that we can be the last in the queue, so we'll rough it. We would be living with like cold water, not heating.
And it was our forever home, so
Yeah.
there was no rush. We didn't have to rush to get everything done. There was a rush for the caretakers
Yes.
just to start renting that out, but other than that, would slow down. This was all before social media even existed in our mind.
Yeah.
Then social media came along, and you have to keep fueling it. You have to keep people entertained. You've got to keep creating rooms, keep doing this.
We were very lucky with social media. It took off when we started sharing, and I am going to be forever grateful, because we found like such amazing community, and it helped us a lot, like stretching the initial budget that we had to go a little bit further along. So it helped us to elevate the finishes and get to know lovely small brands. So that is like one of the huge positives that we got out of that. But the good thing is that we started to have a lot of people saying like, oh, we would love to stay in that cottage. And Dean and I, being very controlling, we thought, that's great. We were suddenly running another business, because we had to either clean when we didn't find a cleaner to help us out. We had to do the turnovers, we had to prep it, we had to make it special, because we would like something really special for people to stay.
And then on top of that, we're doing the gardening. We're maintaining the other buildings. We are trying to restore other spaces. I've got my full-time job.
Yeah.
We're trying to have time with one another as well. It was a lot to try and juggle.
Yeah. The lovely naivety that we had when we bought it, at least from my side, which I never even thought about the added amount of running costs that happens when you finish a house.
Because we bought it and it was pretty much derelict. It wasn't livable. There was no heating.
Yeah.
There was not really much to maintain. The gardens were overgrown, so you could just leave it and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But as we started clearing back, gardens continued to grow.
Yeah.
And when we started heating the spaces, that's the running cost of heating the spaces and then keeping them clean, keeping the spiders out, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It kind of built up. And the more we finished spaces and we finished gardens, the more we had to maintain. And juggling maintenance alongside wanting to continue to restore the other spaces we hadn't done,
it was
tricky because we had so little time in the day. Really.
I think especially we were starting to really be dreading the spring and summer, because as much as we love the outside, we thought oh my God, here we come. Yeah, it's starting the full-on maintenance, that we have to somehow schedule to keep everything that we're doing looking okay. Not even making it better, just keeping it maintained.
Yeah.
Keep renovating, trying to make money, to keep paying bills. And then to me, I started to feel the pressure is piling up. I started to feel like I was drowning. We got a break. I think Karma or, someone looking after us sent us the show that we did. AGTV, TV show. We closed a deal for a season. And what that means is they injected a good amount of cash into it, because obviously we were guys, it's physically impossible for us. We would not be able to do that because we didn't have the money to be able to do everything in 6 months, because that was the time it was filmed. So they had a budget and they injected the money.
It was the hardest 6 months of our life.
Yeah.
Someone asked if we'd do it again, and we'd be like, yeah, we would, because it's money that will bring into the estate. But it was so tough because HGTV shows are notoriously quick room makeover in 20 minutes. And we're like, this is an old estate. It's very hard. We have to take things back to brick. It's going to take a long time. So they only wanted to record certain elements, and then the rest of it was just recorded. It was just done in our own time, which we were doing shooting from 12 hours a day. So it was the time after that. So it was a tough 6 months.
But it brought an injection of cash to the estate. And that's, if we are honest, that was the only reason why we did it. We had no desire to be on TV. That was just part of it. That you had to be on TV for this to happen. And the show did really well. It went in many, 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 many countries. But how it works is America were the ones that commissioned it, and they didn't get the high ratings that they were expecting within the first 24 hours.
Only in America they
yes. So it did very well in any other countries, but because of that first 24 hours, then that meant that they felt it was not enough interest, and they did not commission a second season.
During that time, we were doing our rentals. We were on a TV show, and then we had people turning up at our door. Yeah. Which was lovely. Everyone was lovely that turned up, but they were turning up at our door, knocking at our door, looking through our letterbox. We were very, we're on the high street. We're very public. There was no kind of separation as such. We knew that we were going towards wanting to raise a family, and to raise a child where strangers will come to the door was just a little bit concerning for us.
Yes.
So that's when our head switched, and our forever home of being the main estate, being in the manor house, changed, and we had to find something different for us to raise our family in. And the main estate would then become solely rentals. A few years ago, we bought the Dower House. We remortgaged the main estate. This was prior to all the mortgages going to
the economy changing, basically.
So we're in an even worse position. But we had got a safety of a house that we could raise our family.
We always felt like, it was the right thing to do at the time. We were planning for the future, and we felt we are getting these are lovely, lovely properties, And
our last little pot of reserve of money that we had, we were buying time because Dante was coming. He came a year earlier than we expected, and we knew we had to get the Dower House to a level of completion before he came. So we were injecting our money into getting a few trades in here and there to really help us out, to speed things along.
Which it drains money.
It drained us of our money. Whilst, in the past, time was nothing for us. We would just keep going, and we'd only spend a little bit of money, but would get it all done ourselves.
every decision comes with consequences. Perhaps if we never even started social media, we would
still be there. And
very happy.
Yeah, we'd do long-term rentals,
Yeah.
and
We
just don't know.
No, we don't know. But that's the thing about life, isn't it?
In a previous episode, we mentioned about our Patreon account and how we felt uncomfortable with it. And someone made a really good point that it's not up to us if someone wants to support us, it's up to them.
Yeah.
Which made me think over the past few months. And then we thought, well, actually, we've got an opportunity here that if people do want to support our journey, then it will take us in this direction. And if they don't, it will take us in this direction. And both are totally fine.
Yeah. We're going to start with Patreon to see how it goes.
This year was really tough for us. And as a result, we lost the Gardener's Cottage, which is really sad because it was such a beautiful building. But it was getting to a point where it was getting beyond repair, and we just didn't want to allow that to happen, and we didn't have the money to inject into it to restore it, so we sold it to a lovely couple that are in the process of restoring it right now. So it was just one of the buildings that we've already lost a part of the collective estate, which is a shame. But if we can, we will share with you what they get up to if they let us. But I think we've got some footage of our last moments at the Gardener's Cottage. So if you're seeing this, we're saying goodbye to the Gardener's Cottage.
It's so difficult to kind of like let go, but I'm really happy that like a cute family is going to take over.
They're really excited about it, which is great, and they want to do it justice, and we're very excited to see this be lived and loved.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we couldn't do it.
So thanks for listening to our story. It was just to say that not everything are roses and petals, or whatever is the word you say. Daisies and roses. There is always things, the normal things that happen behind the scenes.
Everyone struggles with different things, but a lot of it's not shared on social media, and everyone thinks it's just perfect.
Yeah.
But it's not, which is fine. And we just wanted to share that side with you. We try not to do it in a depressing way, because we're fine about it, whatever happens.
If you feel like you connected with us and you want to be part of the journey of what we're doing, what we're creating, whatever the direction might be, and you want to be part of our Patreon, we would love to see you there.